Okay, so today we are going to be making mom's beans casserole recipe, which is very popular for holidays and special occasions, right, Julie?
Yes, that's correct. It was always a side dish that Mom would make,
Yes.
especially in the summertime.
Summertime. So the first time I tried that recipe, I was so impressed that there were beans around here too. So I was like, oh, yay.
I like to get the ground beef that has a little bit of fat to it. It adds flavor when you're putting together the bean casserole.
Awesome. And what are the ingredients that we use for this recipe? So we need green beans, I see.
Okay, well, I will start from the top. Hi, as I'm browning the ground beef, I will tell you what the other ingredients are. I am going to also fry 8 slices of bacon. Again, it can be any kind of bacon. I like the thick cut. Again, when the bean casserole is done, it adds a nice texture and flavor. I will be cutting up 4 big onions into rings. I will be using brown sugar, and I'll tell you the proportions as I use it. Salt, some dry mustard, and just plain white vinegar. And then, again, I will tell you the process later, but I will be adding 2 cans of butter beans, 1 can of French style green beans, and a large can of Boston baked beans. Now, I could not find them in the supermarket. It seems like the COVID-19 has wiped away a lot of the pulses and beans in cans. So I'm just using a vegetarian baked bean in a large can because we'll be adding enough spices to it. So that's it for now.
So here we are. We are making our bean casserole recipe, and that is mom's recipe. And we are excited that Julie's making it for us. That is, yay!
All right, the ground beef is just about all brown, and I'm going to put it in a bowl. And then I'm going to put 8 slices of bacon in the pan to crisp up.
To crisp up? Awesome.
All right, let's see. Get all that out.
So what we're doing now, folks, is putting the bacon. Julie said that we need 8 pieces.
We need 8 pieces of bacon, and I've used the thick cut so they have some really nice consistencies in the beans. Now I'm going to let that cook and get nice and crispy, and I'm going to save the drippings for the next step.
Okay, folks, so what we're doing now is that we got what kind of beans you said that they call?
These are butter beans.
Butter
they're
beans.
A flat bean, and they're 2 cans, which I've put in a colander strainer, and I am rinsing. All right, my French style green beans, I do not need to rinse. I am just draining them very well.
Awesome.
Okay. The huge can of baked beans, I am not draining. That's the only beans that we're going to put the sauce with the beans in the mixture.
And today we are using baked beans, Bush Best.
Bush, yes.
Awesome. Okay, and right here, folks, as you can see, I slice 4 onions, white onions, I should say, very thin, as much as you can.
Following the recipe.
That's what we're doing here. 8 pieces of bacon, and it's getting brown. Okay, folks, so here we are back again. We are making mom's recipe, bean casserole beans recipe. And obviously, all of the ingredients are right here. As you can see, we got some ground mustard. We also got some baked beans, butter beans, green beans, sea salt, and some brown sugar. And how much brown sugar is that, Jules?
Well, it is, wow, 1/4 of a. I'm so sorry. If I would read my recipe, you would see that it's 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar.
Got it. And we got the meat already brown here. Julie's already getting all of the 8 pieces of bacon only.
And the reason we're laughing is because the recipe says 8 pieces, but if you love bacon, you can put a lot more. If you not so much, you can use less.
All right, and
That the onions do not splatter all over, I'm going to add the onions on low heat until they become tender, and then I will add the other spices to it.
and just as a reminder, we got 4
onions. Yes.
Sliced only. So basically, she's marinating the onions on the same grease from the bacon, right?
That is correct.
Awesome.
This is definitely not a low-fat recipe, but the flavor is there.
And what is this recipe coming from, June? Julie, a little bit of history, you know? By any chance, no?
I'm making a face because I really don't know. My mom made it, but I don't know. I don't remember my grandmother making it, but
She got it from somewhere.
Did, correct.
So basically, you letting the onions simmer for about 10 to
I am going to get them tender.
just tenderize.
Just tender, and then add the other ingredients. I'm going to get a fork and break up so that they are individual rings.
Awesome.
All right, the onions have been softening, and I am now ready for the next step. And it's to add 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar, which I have already measured out. Then I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt to that mixture. Okay. Sprinkle that over. I also am going to add a teaspoon of dry mustard. All right, here we go. And it's one of those recipes, things don't have to be exact in measurement. And as you make it more, you will adapt the different flavors, and like if you want more brown sugar, less brown sugar, or mustard. Now, one of the things, a notation on the recipe that my mother put down there, it called for 1/2 cup of vinegar. She says cut down a bit, so I'm actually only going to put 1/3 of a cup of the vinegar in this recipe. All right, and I am going to give this a good stir, this mixture, and it is going to simmer for 20 minutes to get all those flavors in there, and then we'll combine all the other beans and the ground beef. And I will be back in a bit.
On the side is doing the bacon for the bean casserole.
Yes, I'm crumbling the bacon. This will go on top before it bakes.
And we truly enjoyed this recipe. I think I had it the first time here with Mom about probably 7 years ago or 6 years ago, which that was really good. So can't wait. So just to give a heads up, it has been about 20 minutes since the onions been simmering, right?
That is correct, and the spices that we put in there have permeated the onions, and it's all ready to do our mixture together for the casserole. I am going to put 2 cans of the drained and rinsed butter beans in here. I'm going to add 1 can of French style green beans.
Just go like this and we'll come up.
Okay,
There you go.
Good.
There you go.
all right.
I'll help you.
Little
go.
technical
There you go.
glitch here. All right. Thank you.
All right.
Oh, all right. Well, it stayed in the pan. That's good. And I'm going to add 1 can of Boston baked beans, which I did not drain. I'm using the sauce that came in there with it. I'm going to give this a little mix, and then I'm going to add the ground beef. I have to do this very carefully because I could have this all across the kitchen floor very easily. All right, I'm putting the 1 pound of browned ground beef in here. Now you may be wondering why I crisped up 8 slices of bacon and used the drippings. That is going to go on top of the casserole before we put it in the oven. All right, so the next time you see me, the dish will be inside a container or casserole pan to put in the oven. All right, everyone, as you see, I have put the mixture into a casserole. Now I am going to sprinkle all that delectable 8 slices of bacon, all crisped up. It's going to go on top. And this mixture is going in the oven for 1 hour. Now everything is cooked, so it's just a matter of all the flavors going through everything, and for the mixture on top to get this wonderful golden color.
Awesome. So basically what's going to happen, we're going to be baking this dish for 1 hour in the oven.
That is correct, at 350 degrees.
That is going to be at 350 degrees. We have the oven going on already. So that's going to marinate all the flavors together. As it is, it smells already good.
We could actually eat it like this, but you want all those flavors to go through.
To marinate. Awesome. It smells so good, people. Beans casserole, tan deliciosos. Okay, folks, so here we are back again at Jesse's Wisconsin lifestyle, and I hope and I really wish that you guys like the bean casseroles. That's my husband's mom's recipe. She used to make it every holiday for us, so it is a special recipe for us because she used to make it for us as kids.